What up, what up, what up, and welcome back to another episode of the Eyeball Podcast right here for another episode of Coach's Corner. And we got Brandon Houston from Alabama A&M University, another D1 in the building. Coach, man, appreciate you taking out time to come hang out with us here on the Eyeball Podcast. Coach Derek Williams, Coach Brian Williams here. Kind of talk about it, man. How are you enjoying this atmosphere of something new for the state of Alabama?
Man, especially being from Alabama, it's just a great event, man. And seeing these young guys here and seeing just the talent all in one gym in one place and showing Alabama is not just a football state is a great thing to see.
Hey, there it is.
Yeah.
So, Coach, listen, this is a question I have to ask you. I know you guys target guys all over the state, right? And you came in here to see specific guys. Of course, you want to find something new, but you came in here to see some guys, and a lot of guys didn't show up, right? A lot of guys that might have been on your radar decided not to show up. Let's talk about that. Kind of talk about how it is for a college coach to have a target of somebody, to make it an issue to come watch them, and then they not show up. No call, no show, just not arrive.
Man, that's a tough situation right there because when you have in your mind, you already have a plan set up for your weekend. We're busy all throughout the week, so you're saying, oh, yeah, going here this weekend to see this one player. And then you get here and they're not here, it's kind of tough. But at the same time, like you said, it's always good to see somebody new, see other talent in the area. So it's never really a big issue, but it does kind of hurt you deep down.
Right.
Well, Coach, great. I want to talk to you a little bit about where you guys are recruiting now. I know we're in July, and a lot of people think sometimes, and this is the last live period, a lot of people kind of think sometimes it's a little too late. Explain to some of the players and the parents how an environment like this could actually get them on a roster for a kid who's 2023, but for the kids who are 2024, how important it is for them to be in an environment like this and get evaluated by you guys.
I think it's definitely big because, like, especially with 23s, because this guy's still getting the portal to this day. So it's definitely roster spots and scholarships that are still out there. Now, like with 24s, like you said, it's definitely big for them because you just want to be in front of college coaches. And anytime you can be in front of college coaches, even if they're recruiting you or even talking to other guys about you, that's still good, getting your name out, exposure. So just being out and being on the scene is always huge.
All right, specifically for Alabama A&M, Coach. Coach Hughley, over there, we all know his pedigree. He's been all over from the NBA to high school to college basketball. He's coached on every level, and he's coached some of the top players that ever come out of the state of Alabama. Talk about your program in particular. What is it that you guys are looking for so our listener, these young guys, the parents can know, hey, man, I might have an opportunity to play at Alabama A&M?
I say, like, with us, we're just looking for guys that are coachable, guys that want to be there, guys that want to get their schoolwork done, guys that are students of the game that really love it. Coach Hughley, he's really a big developmental coach, so our whole program is about getting players to the pro level, playing overseas, maybe even to the NBA. So that's like our development first program. So with him, he's just a great teacher. I know the kids are learning because I learn stuff every day myself. So it's just, I feel like in the SWAC, it's just a different type of atmosphere for those type of coaches, and he's just creating a new opportunity for coaches in the SWAC to be on the NBA level, be on the overseas level, get to work with guys like Giannis, get to work with guys like Kyrie, LeBron. You don't hear that stuff coming from the SWAC. So I feel like it's a new day for the SWAC and a new day for Alabama A&M men's basketball.
Coach, let me ask you this question. I kind of alluded to it earlier, but I really want you to kind of deep dive into it for the parents and for the players, letting them understand how deep do you guys really go in the year? Like you say, still roster spots available. How deep do you guys go in the year before you say, you know what, we're going to wrap up recruiting for that calendar year?
I say probably all the way up until August, until school starts almost, because honestly, with the guys, with the portal, you never know when guys might leave you.
Right.
So, and then especially, y'all know how it is, tampering and all that.
Yeah.
Guys getting talked to during the season about leaving school. So it's, I say really all the way until August.
Oh, man.
Do y'all hear that? This is a Division I program
Man.
who is telling you they recruit all the way up until the
first day
final
of school.
hour.
Right.
Yep.
Until the final hour.
Right.
So never think your opportunity is being missed. So, Coach, in this type of atmosphere, I'm sure you've been since March. And all the live periods in April, May, and June with the high schools, and now here we are in July. I'm sure you've been to more AAU tournaments that you care to even think about,
Man.
right? So how refreshing is it to come into an atmosphere like this, to be able to see guys in individual activities and be able to scout and evaluate them here?
It's great to see them in this setting because it's different from, like you said, from AAU, from team. Out here, you're really on your own, so you can see how somebody works as a individual and see how. Also, you haven't played with these guys before, so if they can work with these guys, you can work with a team that you're working with the whole summer, whole season. So if you can be a leader on this type of setting, you can be a leader anywhere.
No, we talked about that, man. We talked about the importance of a lot of these kids understanding that as your game elevates and you go to new situations, you're going to be in environments like this where you got to go with a bunch of new guys, because all of these kids right now are high school kids, and they are looking to try to come to your school and get on the roster. So you got to understand, if you guys do offer them a scholarship and they commit and come, we already had the freshman, the sophomore, the junior, the senior that's already been here. So you got to come be a part of this. So in camps like this, you guys get an opportunity to kind of see where they are.
And Coach, I got to ask you this because it's confusing for a lot, right? It's confusing for a lot. And speaking to what Chill Will just said, having guys that you want to bring into your program, we already say it goes all the way up into August. But kind of, you mentioned, you alluded to it earlier, the type of players that Alabama A&M wants to bring in. So this talk about it. Guys are in the gym now. When you look around the gym, what are some of the things that you're looking at? Because a lot of guys think, oh, I'm only 5'10". I might not have an opportunity. Kind of talk about some of the attributes of the guys that we see in here now. And I don't want to talk about in particular players. I ain't going to put you on that spot. But just some of the guys that are in the gym that intrigue you of some of the attributes that they have that you're watching for.
For me, like, it's more of not really the eye test. You can't always just look at size, because you see guys like Jokic, look at his body. Like, you can't tell by just looking at him that he can hoop.
Right.
Or even like our starting point guard last year was 5'7". You looking at him walking through the street, you wouldn't even think he's a hooper. So I got, like, with me, I like to see, do you know the game? Are you making the one more pass? Are you talking on defense? Are you being coachable from your coach on the sideline? Those type of things are what I'm really looking for in our program as well. Just being good men, good young men, and being coachable, like I always say.
But hold on, B. I see you chomping at the bits because I know we got to let him go because we want to watch him reevaluate. But here's the thing, Coach. A lot of guys don't think that Division I still recruit high school. You're in this atmosphere watching high school guys. Kind of explain to these listeners about how high school guys are still a priority to Division I schools.
Oh, for sure. Because high school guys are the guys you're really going to be able to get and mold and develop them into better players. It's hard sometimes getting JUCOs or transfers. Yeah, you can use them for 1 year, but you always want to have a good base of 4 to 5 young guys that you can bring throughout their whole career and watch them grow.
Hey, man, you know what?
He chomping.
You know, I had one question, but when you just answered that question, it shows the landscape of how college basketball is changing, because he said we'll look at a JUCO guy for maybe getting him in 1 year. And his thought process behind that is maybe we get a JUCO guy, he comes here, he plays really well, tamperings happen, kids think he's going to go to another situation.
NIL comes in.
NIL comes in. So how do you guys say I'm going to curve some of that and recruit these kids who I know will have for a long haul? Or are you in a situation where you're saying, I'm going to get out of this kid what I can get out of this kid?
It's kind of a little bit of both at the same time, because you want to be honest with them up front and say, if something does come, you'll have that option. But when you come here knowing here, you're going to be here the whole time that you're here. You can't be half in, half out. You got to be all the way in. So you kind of give the kids an option to say, here, hey, if you really do well, you might have an option to go somewhere else, but that's in the future. Right now, we got to worry about A&M.
So that's part of the actual recruiting process right now.
That's how you have to
saying
do it now.
if you come in and you have an opportunity, we're not going to hold you.
Yep.
Y'all hear that, man? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
Do y'all hear that, man?
Yeah.
Like, listen,
basketball nowadays.
that's college. This is coming straight from the mouth of a Division I college coach at Alabama A&M University in the SWAC, right?
But that lets the young players know, like we talk about on the time, you can play yourself out of a situation into a better situation. But you also can play yourself out of a good situation into no situation.
I think you got something set up and nothing there for you.
Bars. Hey, these two men on the mic with me right now spitting bars, man.
Yeah.
But, hey, Coach Houston, man, thank you for taking out time of your day to come chill out with us here on the Eyeball Podcast on Coach's Corner. And listen, we're going to keep this line of communication open, man. You're always welcome to jump on here with us, man. We would love your insight, your thought process throughout the season, man. So, of course, we're going to exchange numbers, man. We're going to keep this thing going.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Hey, B, there it is, man. Coach Houston from Alabama A&M University. Another great conversation, B.
Hey, Hey man, another great conversation, man. And you know what, man? Like I'm so glad Coach Miller and Coach Jose, those guys decided to step out on faith and make this event happen.
Right.
Because man, listen, we're getting it real and raw right now. This is not just two guys talking on the microphone, telling you our opinion and how we feel. Although when we tell you how our opinion and how we feel, we're having these type of conversations.
Right.
But right now, we're able to have these conversations where you guys are able to hear exactly what's going on that level.
On that level, man. So, hey, man, y'all know what it is, man. We about to listen. The guys are getting geared up to do some 5-on-5, right? And I see some guys on the court I really want to see. I see Bryce Dawson. I see Jeremiah Wilson. I see Frederick Derrick. I see Coach. I see JJ on the. Listen, it's about to go down. So listen, we will be back, man. We got more interviews, man. More coaches, more players. All of that coming up right here on the Eyeball Podcast, man. Y'all stay tuned. Peace.
Peace.